Hello and welcome. My name is Evgeny Rusakov and you're watching TVP World, interview from Vilnius. Almost nothing in our world happens without the influence of economics. The processes that took place in 2024 and will take place in 2025 are no exception here. To discuss 2024 from the economic perspective and to have a glance at what 2025 has prepared for us, we are joined today by the economist Marius Dubnikovas. Hello, Marius, and glad to see you with us here today.
Hello, nice to see you.
First of all, how was 2024 economic-wise?
It depends from what perspective we are looking at this economics. So there are two ways. One is from macroeconomics. This means that the data is, a bit alarming. We had bad data from European Union. There is no growth. The growth is somewhere about the zero. And from other perspective, the other perspective from an investor side, the investor side means that almost all equity markets are at the record high. If you would invest in a year ago in the US, you would have somewhere about 30% more money. If you would invest in the same Germany, you would have again somewhere from 20 to 30% more money. And there was a huge growth in the investment sector. So this means there are two different sides from macroeconomists and from investors. Investors in 2024 were more optimistic. They see the future in the bright side of the world, I would say, like from that.
Well, at least someone does that. It's
yeah,
good.
and the macroeconomists that are looking backwards majorly, they are, you're driving a car.
Pessimists.
And trying to predict the future by looking at the back mirror.
And the glass is always half empty.
When they were seeing this back mirror, it's quite dark.
Okay.
So there were two differences. It will depend what will be the 2025, but investors are quite optimistic, and macroeconomists are, I would say, in the end of the year they are trying to change their mind a bit to the positive side.
Well, that's good to know. Okay, then my next question is, and probably one of the most important topics for ordinary people is oil and gas prices. So what should we expect in 2025?
Well, during our year 2024, we've seen in the gas market there was a stabilization and normalization of the market. The prices went, at least in Europe, in the Europe Stock Exchange and in Dutch exchanges, it went down to almost 20 euros per megawatt. For the gas, right now it is somewhere about 40, I would say, euros per megawatt. It's quite normal. We see a bit different dynamics in comparison to the last year, 2023, because the gas prices were going down at this time. Right now they are also going down, but not going down as fast as it was last year. Because we have several challenges. So there is a guess. What will happen when Ukraine will terminate the agreement with Russia to transfer the gas through the Ukraine territory to Hungary and Austria even, and etc. But it seems like we are going to the middle of a heating season, and gas prices will go down. There's no stress. This means no stress with gas, no stress with electricity prices as well, and etc. This winter will be quite calm, I would say. And what relates with the oil, there's also a very interesting story behind that. Right now we see the stabilization of the Brent crude oil at 73 USDs per barrel. And it seems like the chart is like it's stalling. It's going into one line, and it's unusual for this market because it's quite volatile. And it seems like everyone is waiting what will be after Trump will be inaugurated in the January.
That's interesting.
Because there are two sides. One side says of the analysts and the investors says that there is a probability that Trump will start a price war with oil. and this means that the oil price might go down. The other says if he doesn't do that, then we might see an increase in the oil price. So let's wait just for a few weeks, and probably there will be some changes. There's a risk with the oil. I do not see a risk with the gas, but I see a risk with the oil.
And see what Donald Trump brings us in his pocket.
And his team as well.
Well, yeah,
this is not just one person.
Okay,
in the field.
Since you've mentioned Donald Trump, I have a question about Donald Trump. So he will come back to the White House just in a couple of weeks. And I cannot leave without mentioning his promised trade wars with China. So how will this look like, and what consequences will trade war have on us here in Europe?
The first thing, we do not know how we will act in the oil market. There's only guessings. But we definitely probably know that there will be tax wars on different goods. So what we can see right now, there's a real focus on Mexico. There will be taxes on their goods. There will be taxes probably on Canada. I don't know why there is some interest on doing that, but still there is.
You mean from Donald Trump?
Yes, okay. Because Canada and the U.S. is allies that are very close, and I don't understand why it is happening.
Is he maybe preparing for those trade wars with China?
Yes, and China will be probably, definitely will be between those guys that are going to be in the trade wars. What relates with Europe, it seems like this time, and as last time in 2016, Donald Trump is using trade wars as a way of negotiations. So probably
with everyone.
With everyone, but in Europe it's quite calm, you know. The last time in 2016, when he came for the first time to the White House, he went to Merkel. They said that we are going to make a trade war on your cars, on goods, etc., etc. Merkel said, okay, we are going to use more gas from US instead of Russia, and can we agree that those trade wars won't start? So Donald Trump said that yes, we can. So, and what Merkel did, so she did not keep her promise, and she promised that they are going to implement LNG, etc. But LNG was implemented only after a cadence of Merkel.
And how about Donald Trump? Did he keep his promise then?
Yes, majorly yes. There were no large-scale trade wars. There were tensions, but those tensions did not come to any result.
Another interesting topic is, again, for many ordinary people, is real estate prices. So what do you see here? What trends do you see here? What have you seen in 2024? And what should we expect in 2025?
There's a huge shift that was in 2024 after 2 years of stalling of the price and even dropping of the price, especially in the European Union. In the second half year, we saw some, spring, rather, we are going to the winter, but in the real estate there was spring where prices started to rise. And parallel to that, there was an increase in rent prices as well. So it's even fueling this real estate prices. And parallel to that, European Central Bank is lowering the rates on the mortgages, and this means it might even be additional fuel for the real estate prices. So overall, probably in 2025, we will have the same story that we will see a comeback in the real estate prices, averagely in the European Union, and especially in the eastern part, because eastern part, Poland, Baltics, especially Nordics, everyone is a bit afraid of real estate of drop down of the price, but it didn't happen at very large scale, and probably we will see some new story in 2025, because the cards are quite good for real estate.
manufacturing in Europe. What was the situation in 2024 again, and what shall we see in 2025?
At the early beginning of 2024, we saw like quite a good situation when the things started to improve. But in the end of this year, we see that the industrials are going down. So, for example, Purchasing Manager Index, which measures how much components and different commodities are being bought by the industrials, it's lowers all the time. So we are finishing quite in the pessimistic part in the end of the year. But we see different information from macroeconomics. We see that manufacturing in Germany is stopping, but we see some positive side that the sales of the products is increasing a bit in the end of the year from Germany. So this means we are selling warehouses.
Okay. What does that mean?
And this means that probably in 2025 we will see the result that warehouses will be empty at some point. And this means that we will have to start manufacturing again. So I hope that in the second half year of 2025, we will see more positive data from industrial side. This means that we will definitely need to revive the production because there's no other case.
Well, you said that. I take it for granted. Let's go on. Bitcoin. What shall we see in 2025, and how do you generally assess the future of this and similar currencies?
Bitcoin increased over the last year several times because of two things. One thing that U.S. court has instructed the U.S. stock exchange to accept Bitcoin as an asset class and include in the list of listed funds. And the second jump was because the Donald Trump was elected, who empowered few people that are very related with this market. And this it seems like U.S. is going to be a center of digital currencies, etc. But I don't know. I honestly can say I don't know what the price would be. From my side, I don't see the cash flow of the Bitcoin, and this means I cannot evaluate that thing. If you do not have a cash flow, what kind of investment is it? I'm a fundamentalist. So this means I am evaluating the cash flows, profits, and money that are left in the end of the day on the table, but not the...
Somewhere else, in the digital area, let's call it that way.
Yeah, it might be, but still, it's a bit a topic for this.
Okay. Briefly, just to sum up, what's your forecast for 2025?
Briefly, I would say that we are holding a very good cards in our hands. This means we have a very good chances to have a better year next year. The employment is very good in the EU, especially in Poland, Lithuania, Nordics, etc. We have a good chance to increase the industrial sector. We have a good chance to increase the export from EU because euro is going down and dollar is going up. So these cards are good. The only probably right now at this point when we are speaking, the question is what will be with the politics. I see a huge risk on the politician side, because we have things in Romania with the president elections. We see demand, I would say, for some radical political side. There's no difference between left or right, but for radical movements. So I see the risk in politics. In the economy, it seems like the cards are okay or even good.
Brilliant. Let's hope that 2025 will bring something bright to us. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a happy new year.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to remind our viewers that our guest for today was an economist, Marius Dubnikovas. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us.